Let me record the meeting. Okay, so it is just a 1 hour session where we'll be covering the complete installation of Oracle 11g using Oracle VM. The database what you are going to install is Oracle 11g database 11204. So there is a chat session. If at all any queries are there, you can always you can put your entry in the chat session in the GoToMeeting session. So at the end of the session, we'll have a database, something like this. Today by end of the session, I'm just showing you a template, a demo where I already have installed it. So what I'm going to do is, I have a Windows 8, and I already have this Oracle VM installed on this. And in this, I'm going to create a new VM and install this operating system and the database on top of it. So just let me tell you my setup so that you'll understand what exactly I'm doing. Then I can continue the session. 1 minute. Okay, so here is my thing. So I have like a big box, like Windows 8, which is around 32 GB RAM. You may not need that, but I have this. I have around 2 TB HDD, right? So this is my machine. So what I'm going to create is, I'm going to create a small VM. I'm going to create a VM. First of all, Oracle VM is already installed here. Oracle VM is already installed here. It is free. You can always download and you can install. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to create a VM where I'm going to install Oracle Enterprise Linux 5.8, and I'm going to install database 11204 database. So I'll allocate around 4 GB RAM, and around you don't need much of hard disk, but no problem. Let me have you just need like 30 or 40 GB, but just like that I'm going to install 100 GB hard disk. I'm going to. So this is my setup. So if you see, you are seeing this Windows 2008, the Oracle VM is installed. Windows once you install Oracle VM, you will get something similar screen like this. Then you can create new and start creating virtual machines. The main advantage of Oracle VM is you can have multiple operating system installed on your Windows machine. You can have a Windows 2008, you can have a Linux. Why we are going with this Oracle VM is, we need to have our Oracle Linux installed and database to be installed on that, because if you install Oracle on Windows, there is no use, because in most of the organization, the database is running on Linux. That's the reason why we have to select Oracle VM, and then we install Linux, and then we are going to install database. So this is the total what I wanted to tell. So you have any queries with the setup? Any queries, like how any queries here before I can start off?
No, sir.
Okay, so let me mute again back. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to shut down the existing one because we don't need it. I'll just stop the database. I'm going to stop the existing one which I showed you. So we are going to prepare exactly the same one. So let me stop this database. Stop the operating system too. So once I stop the operating system, here it is shutting down. So let it shut down. We'll do the second one. Okay. So now we have so many OSs here. The main advantage of having Oracle VM is, as I told you, we can have multiple operating systems. So now we are going to create a new VM. Okay, a new VM of Linux VM. We are going to create a Linux VM, and then we are going to install a database on it. Okay, so here you just see I have the notes exactly. Everything is well documented. You guys can follow it. I already sent the link, but I have updated few changes. So I'll send you the latest link to you. So here is the setup for me: a Windows machine, and we are going to create a Linux of 5.8 with 4 GB RAM and 50 GB hard disk should be fine. So the software, I'm of course I'm using 11.204, but you can it's 11.201 is freely downloadable. 11.204 you need to download from support. You may also need a client. You may also need a client just to access. Suppose, for example, you have a database installed on the Linux. You can install the client. You can install the client on your desktop machine, and you can access the database. That's the way how the things will move with most of the organizations. The other softwares you need is like VNC viewer. The other softwares you need is the VNC viewer. In case if you want to install remotely, then you may need the VNC viewer, which you are going to see. The instructions are mentioned here. You may also need WinSCP software. Suppose you want to copy the software from your Windows machine to Linux machine or vice versa, then you may need WinSCP. You may also need a putty just to do the maintenance. Just to do the maintenance, like starting, stopping. You may not able to install with putty, but you can always start and stop. Make down all the points what you want. If what you are having queries, at the end we will discuss about this. Right now I'll just continue. At the end you can just make a point of it, what you're not following, and at the end I'm going to cover it. Using VNC Viewer you can do the installation. Using putty we can do maintenance. Only like starting, stopping, some applying some patches we can do through putty. But installation, any graphics you can do using VNC Viewer. This is a Windows version you need to install on your desktop machine. So this Oracle VM is freely downloadable. It you have a Linux version and you have a Windows version. Suppose your host is Linux, then you need to download this RPM. It's an RPM. It comes in a RPM format which you need to install. Suppose your host is Linux, but in most of the cases what I say is you guys are having, especially people especially you are having a laptops or your desktop machines where you have like Windows 7 or Windows 7 or Windows 8. So then on that you can install the VirtualBox. The latest version is like a 5 version. You can you can install. Maybe latest I will update it. Let me mark it red. I will do some changes for this. Maybe latest version is 5. I'll just update and send it to you back. So the Linux is freely downloadable. You can go with 5.8. 5.8 is much stable. So let's go with 5.8. How to download 5.8? You can go to edelivery.oracle.com, search for Oracle Linux, select your platform, and you continue and you download this. So it comes, you select 5.8. It comes in a ISO format. You need to download the ISO itself. Just don't download the source. Just download the ISO. If at all you want to install on a new, suppose you purchased a new machine, then it is different story. You have to burn to DVD and install. But in our case, we are actually not burning into any DVD. We are just going to use this ISO file for our installation. So in case of Linux, suppose your host machine. You have to install like an RPM. But if it is a Windows machine, it's an exe file. You just have to click and it goes and goes and it's a straightforward installation. You will not have any problems with the installation of VirtualBox. Once VirtualBox is ready on a Linux machine, suppose Linux your host, you will under System Tools, you will have Oracle VM tag. You just have to click it. Whereas on a Windows machine, it looks something like this. If it is a Windows machine, once you click the Oracle VM, it looks something like this. So what you need to do is you just have to say new, and select like what you want, what is the name you want, Linux 64-bit. Then memory you have to allocate. You have 4 GB should be fine for you. Suppose if you have a 8 GB RAM machine, even 6 GB should be enough. 2 GB for your operating system and 4 GB for this guest machine. This is a guest. So then you will allocate a hard disk also, how much space you want. So you take dynamically allocated. So I am allocating 50 GB, in this machine 50 GB. So this is like, you don't go by this because this is like configured to a Linux box. But in our case, it will be like C drive or D drive, wherever space is there, you just have to allocate it. So after this, we need to go with the network. After you have configured it, you need to go to network. In the network, what you need to do is you have to select bridged. Bridged means suppose you want to access in some other laptop. You have 2 or 3 laptops, then you go with bridged. If it is, you just have only one laptop, then you even go for NAT. NAT is there. You can even go for that. Bridged is like, you want to access it maybe outside the network, or you have 2 or 3 machines from there you want to access, then you go with bridged. So once you are done, the ISO file what you downloaded, right? The ISO file what you downloaded. So you need to go to storage. And click this DVD and you select the ISO image. So whatever is the ISO image, you select it. Once the ISO image is selected, you just have to start it. Once you start, you will get you are ready with your Linux installation. So this is the first slide. So you can 50 GB allocated, you can delete all the whatever is there in the 50 GB, you can remove it. There is nothing there, so just wipe out the data. Then you can remove all the partitions, all the existing partitions, because however it is empty, so you can always remove all the partitions. So here you can give a name. Here you can give a name for your machine name, and you can go with this dynamic IP. You can go with this dynamic IP. I will tell you what is the advantage of dynamic IP. If you have a dynamic IP, then from your laptop you can always access, or from some other laptop also you can access. This is only for the people who are having like a modem or a DHCP sort of environment. Then you may need DHCP. What happens is here the provider, like Airtel. In my case, it is an Airtel. So they allocate an IP for you. If they allocate an IP, then I can access from my laptop, from my putty I can access. Otherwise, all the things you need to do on the server. Any queries, you just note down, hey, I'm not following this. You just make a note. I will clarify at the end. So I'll go with DHCP, give some password, and I will select the software development. Click this and start the installation with start the installation of this one. So let us do with this, because this will take some time. We'll continue with the next session. So here I'm doing the same thing what I told you now. First new. So let us say I wanted to create Oracle11g DBA Linux Oracle. Automatically it has selected Linux and Oracle11g. You can install any of this. In our case we are selecting Linux and we wanted to go with 64-bit. Yes, go. Say next. So we wanted to allocate 4 GB RAM. 4 GB. Mine is 32 GB RAM, so I can at least 4 or 5 VMs I can create. So create a new. Now next is the hard disk allocation. So say create VDI dynamically allocated. Select dynamically allocated. The advantage of dynamically allocated is, suppose you allocate 50 GB space, the 50 GB will be allocated, but the space will not be taken. Suppose if you say fixed size, then if you say 50 GB, 50 GB will be allocated now itself. Whereas in case of dynamically allocated, it grows as the space is added, right? So initially it will be 0. Then once you create database, it goes on increases. But whereas fixed size, it's now itself it is that so much of space is allocated. So dynamically allocated, you select the path where you have space. You can always change C drive, D drive, whatever you change it. So you can select 50 GB should be fine for you. But I just wanted to do some upgrade like 11G to 12C upgrade I want to do. That's the reason I am allocating 100 GB. But you can go with 50 GB for you. Okay. Na? So then let me go create. So it is created. So the next step is go to network, and by default it is NAT. See, if at all you have only one laptop, NAT should be fine. But in my case, I may want to access from some other machine. So that's the reason why I'll go with bridged network. No, I'll go with bridged. Bridged means I can access from other laptops machines also. Say okay. Okay, the next step is we need to go to settings and allocate the storage, and from here you go to your this CD, the empty is there, right? Click this, and what you have to do, you have to select where is the ISO file. So in my case, the ISO file, let me see where is the ISO file. Yeah, so what you do, you choose wherever the ISO file is there. So in my case, somewhere it is there. So you can select it. You can C drive, D drive, wherever it is, you can select it. Say open. So here is the ISO file selected, and now you say okay. So you selected the ISO. Now we are ready with the installation. So what you do, you just double click it. So we have installed Oracle VM, and now we are installing Linux. One minute. So here, you can just skip it. Here you can, what you do, you can just skip it. We don't need to do some validation of the media because it is already a good one. Skip this. So here I'm going to say next. Say English. So here some existing data is there. You can just wipe out. Say yes. So here what you do, you just remove all the partitions and just create a default layout. If you want, you can create your own custom layout also. Root, how much is normally in the companies you can take for custom layout. But here I'm just removing all the partitions and creating a default layout. Yeah, there is nothing, there is no data there, so I'm just wiping out everything. So what I'll do here, I will say Oracle DBA. This is the host name. Okay, so first is the host name, and next is the domain name. In my case, I'm selecting appsdba.info. It could be oracle.com, whichever is the company name, you have to give that particular domain name. Let me go with DHCP. I'll tell you why. Why I'm going with DHCP. I'll tell you, because my network provider, my IP provider will allocate a IP address. Using that IP address, I can access from my laptop. So just go. Let me go with the next. Yeah, just take the defaults. Give some root password, secure password. Say next. So here just select this one software development and say next. So now you say next. Yeah. So now what's happening is, it's installing the operating system. So it will take some time. In the time, what we'll do, we'll go back and revisit our the next steps what you are trying to do. So once the operating is completed, once you have to reboot that, you need to reboot the operating system. Just say forward, you disable the firewall. We are not going to deal with all of this firewall. Disable the SUSE Linux, very important for all of this. Then otherwise you cannot access from your laptop machine. If at all anything is enabled, you are in trouble. Okay, so no need to create any user, just go forward and just next, and that's it. Reboot the machine. See, identify your IP address. See, because you have selected DHCP, if you say ifconfig, it will show what is the IP. So at any time of even in your company, if you want to know IP of your machine in Linux, you have to say ifconfig. In Windows, you say ipconfig. In Windows, you say in Linux, you say ifconfig. So it will tell the IP address. This IP address, using this IP address, you can connect through putting. So if you know this IP address, what you can do, you can make it static. First, you make it initially. You select as dynamic, then you have to make it static, because you cannot have a dynamic IP for installing the Oracle database. Because if you say dynamic, right, every time you reboot the machine, it will take a new IP. So first you identify what is the IP. Then what you do, you fix it. How do you fix it? You have to go to administration and network, and from network you have to edit and fix that particular IP. Whatever is the IP, you have to fix it. You have to make it static. Before starting the Oracle database installation, you have to do this. You have to save it, and if you want, you can always start your network. So then the next steps. So the next step is you need to edit your host file, and it has to be in the same pattern. The first line is the loopback address. First is the loopback address, and second one, it is the IP. Whatever is the IP, what is the host name, and the alias name. So it should be exactly the same. The first one should be a loopback entry, and second one should be the IP address, the host name, and the alias name. You can verify always. You can just say, after doing this, you save it, and you once you ping it, it should ping, like, I'm pinging, right? So then you have to make it some semaphore entries. These are all like fixed entries, so no need to worry. Just have to open this file, make all these entries. Almost all databases you are going to do this semaphore setting, so nothing to worry. It is mentioned in the Oracle documentations. You have to fix the limits, hard and soft limits. I'm giving star. If I'm giving star, then any user will have these values. If at all, you can also limit like this, Oracle this much users and all. But if at all you're trying to install multiple operating systems, it's better to give star. Then what you do, you are going to create two groups. One is the oinstall group, one is the DBA group, and you are going to create a user called Oracle. So for him, the primary user, the primary group is oinstall, and the other DBA is the second group. Okay, so user add will add a user, group will create a groups. So normally there are two groups, oinstall and DBA. Then what you do, you start creating some directories. You change the owners. Okay, so then you create inventory also, and you change the change mode, permissions, and all. These are all basic Linux commands. You may note down. Maybe at the end we can discuss. If you want, you can change the password of Oracle. How do you change the password of Oracle? Password Oracle. So now you need to install the missing packages. If you want, you can download from the below site. I know that a lot of people will asking, like, where can we get all the missing packages? So you can download from this site. I already loaded the missing packages. You can download that, and using WinSCP. I told you, right, there is something like WinSCP. From WinSCP, you can transfer the files. I'll show you today. You can transfer the files from your Windows machine to your Linux box. Okay, so you just drag and drop that particular file. You can always verify. You actually require all of this particular patches. You can use this particular query to identify what are the missing packages. So it will tell you what are the missing packages. Then after that you need to install all of this, the missing packages. Without packages you should not go with the installation. Very very important point to be noted here. Normally in the companies you don't need to worry about it. Mostly it will be taken care by the Linux administrator. But in case you have to install in your home, or you have to advise your Linux operating system, whoever is administrator, hey, these are the packages I require. So it's better to know what are the packages to be installed. So then what we do, we connect as Oracle user. We created user Oracle, and what I'm going to do is I'll create one environment file. I'll mention what is my Oracle home, what is the host name. You need to change the host name. Very very important point. If you forget it, then you are in trouble. So I took Linux one, but in my case it is Oracle DBA 11. So I need to change it. What is the SID? So this is like an environment file which you can always use, to run, to start, and do all sort of things. This is the first environment file what we are trying to create. Let me make a little bit. Okay, it fits. I want to fit it in one page. Okay. So next we need to install this guest editions. Maybe if at all you are going for rack sort of option, tomorrow, after database you want to install rack, then you need to install this guest editions. Only when you install this guest editions, then only you can go with for rack installation. For your current thing you may not need it, okay, but just for better to know this. First you also have to improve the performance, the CPU load. So what you need to do, you need to open this particular file and add this line called divider is equal to 10. It is only marked in yellow. It's marked in yellow. You can just need to make an entry so that there is a performance problem. It can be improved by adding this divider at 10. This is the first advantage. The second advantage is, as I told you, when you install the guest editions, you can create some shared folders, where it will be used for your rack thing. So what you need to do is you need to go to devices, install guest editions. So once you do the guest editions, you will get this particular media VBox editions. You need to go and run this particular script. Then you will get something like a screenshot, something like that. Then later on you can use for your rack. In case if you want to install rack, you can use it. In case you are having, in case it is a Windows 7, on Windows 7 you may have to follow this procedure, but in our case we are using Linux, so there is this option will not work out for you. So after that, what you do, you shut down the current operating system, and after shutdown, if you want, you can take a backup of it. You can take a snapshot. The advantage of snapshot is at any point of time you want to go back, everything is fine, but you just want to go back, then you can always create snapshot is at this point you're taking a snapshot. So at this point it is that after the operating system, I took a snapshot. So after that you do few things. You would have messed up some things, then you can always go back. After OS, one snapshot. After database, one snapshot. So after backups you're taken, one snapshot. You can go on create snapshot, but they take some space. Okay, this is like a backup. So now we are ready with the database installation. In case your host is if you are a Linux host, then you need to do something like NFS sharing, NFS mount point. But in our case, this option will not work out because our host is Windows. In case of Windows, you can the most easiest method is using WinSCP. You can copy. The most easiest method is using WinSCP you can copy. But say for example, you have like 50 GB of software on your Windows box. So 50 GB to transfer to Linux will take longer time. So in that case, what you can do something like sharing. So I will show you what are the sites like Samba SMB sharing. For that, you need to share the folder, specify to people, everyone. to everyone whatever the folder, especially if you go with the Oracle e-business 12.2. 12.2 is around 48 GB. So you don't want 48 GB to be transferred to your Linux box unnecessarily occupying the space in your Linux box. So that's why you're going to do SMB Samba settings. So here, after you start your Linux box, you have to run this particular command, and then you need to mount it. Then you have to mount it. I'm going to show you. If it is very complicated, you can directly use this option. Oops, if it is too complicated, you can just use WinSCP. See, at this your level, your basic Oracle databases, that size is not more than 2-3 GB. You can use WinSCP and go. This like for a more advanced people, the Samba settings and even this NFS mount is only for Linux to from Linux to Linux. This is all NFS sharing. It is all for DBS it is all. But as I want you to become little bit experienced, maybe in future you may need all these comments. That's the reason why I have put everything in this. So then installation has to be done through VNC viewer. So in that case, what you need to do, first you need to run the VNC server command. Then from your Windows machine, using VNC viewer, you need to connect to that machine, and then only you can start the installation. So now you are all ready with the installation. As a root user, you need to run xhost, and as a Oracle user, you need to do the installation. As a root user, you need to run xhost, and as a Oracle user, you need to run the run installer. So you say .run installer and create and configure database. Server class, you take server class, single instance database, advanced installation, select English, take enterprise edition. So here, wherever you want to install the software, you can select that particular path. Initially, if you run the environment file, it automatically picks up. There is one, I created one oracle.environment file, right? If you run it, automatically picks up the Oracle home and Oracle base automatically. You select the inventory location. Then it's a general purpose, simple, just installation of Oracle database. Enter the SID what you want. Enable the automatic memory management. Select the character set. Mostly Unicode, you can select character set, AL32 UTF-8. Then select the sample schemas. You may not need for production environments, but for Oracle DBA, if you want Scott and Tiger schemas, you have to select the sample schemas and create database with sample schemas. So say next, and this is the location where you want to store all your data files, control files, redo log files, RKL. That's all, 3. Control files, data files, and redo log files. This is the location where you want to store file system. No backups enabling. Later on you can enable. You can give a common password for all the schemas like sys, system, sysmon, dbmns. You just give a common password. I normally select Oracle for you. This is compatible. This password is it's legally compatible. Oracle underscore for you. One should be upper, one should be number, one should be underscore. That password is perfect. So then you can select the database administrator and the owner of the software. Then everything is fine. If any package is missing, you need to resolve here. If there are no issues, you can continue with the installation. Last time I had some problem with the listener, so for that you need to go to var temp and remove this file, and then it continues the installation. So at the end it will tell you to run as a root user, run few scripts. If at all you have a root privileges, you can run it. Otherwise you need to tell your Linux administrator to run the particular script. Right. So after that we are almost at the end. We can verify the installation. Yeah, you can run the environment file. You can connect. Most of the places wherever I have a yellow marked, it means that you have to type. Okay, you have to type. That is the instructions. Okay, so you can verify what is the database. Next, I created a start and stop scripts. So you can create one is how to start the listener and how to database. So you can, first time you just have to create the scripts, and next time whenever you want to start, you will start it. Whenever you want to stop, you can stop it. So because I'm making it simpler for you guys to operate, right? So that's about it. So now let us continue with our see, this is completed. So now let us reboot. The operating, see, Oracle VM is installed, the operating system is installed. Now we are going to install the database. So are you guys following so far so good? What you can do is you know you can I know that maybe you'll have a lot of queries what's going on here. You can make all the points like I didn't follow this, I didn't follow this. At the end of, you can ask me few queries. Otherwise you can send mails, you can send mails also. Okay. Okay. So operating system is rebooted. I will send the recorded sessions and the documentations, so that should also help you. Okay. So just go forward. Agree the licensing. Disable the firewall as I told you. Disable the SUSE Linux. I don't want all this stuff. I don't want to create a user. Nothing. So let it reboot. Again, once more it's going to reboot. So the next step is we need to install all the missing packages. So if you know that there is something like a support html.oracle.com, that is the support from Oracle. So there you can find the notes. Suppose you're installing Oracle database, you need to, on Linux, you need to follow a note. If you're installing RAC or Oracle e-business, you will have notes to be followed. Okay. So next, let us go to my documentation. See, you need to use your right control to come out from this. Right control. Otherwise, you cannot come. See, you see here at bottom, right control. To come out from that particular operating system, if you want to come out, you have to say right control. Otherwise, you cannot come out. Your mouse will not come out. Okay. Okay. So let us again continue with our. See, this is I'll be sending like a PDF format. I'll be sending a PDF format, and the advantage is you can always click there and go. You just have to, wherever you want to go, you just have to click it. It will take you to the particular stage. Okay. Okay. So all set. So operating system. Oh, okay. Before this, yeah. First, you identify your IP address. After the reboot, identify your IP address. So connect as root. Right click and say open and say ifconfig. So this is the IP, dynamic IP. Okay. The advantage is, what I can do, I can from my laptop, I can access it. See, this is the putty, run. So 192.168.1.12. Okay, just give a name 12. Appearance, just change the font. Okay. Then session, save it. open it. So now this is the advantage what you get if you make it dynamic IP. So you can literally play. Putty means like, you know, all small commands you can play, but dynamic IP cannot be used for installation. Just to get the IP, you will know. Just to connect through putty, you will know. You will use it. This IP who allocated? Your DHCP provider has allocated for you. Whoever is your DHCP provider, he has allocated this one for you. Okay. So now we'll make it fix. You know, because static IP cannot be used for installation, because static IP means every time it will reboot. So now what I'll do, I will go to system and make it fixed. Okay. Go to system, go to administration, go to network. Okay. So by default, you go to say edit, and see by default automatically obtain IP address from DHCP. No, I want to make it static. I want to make it static. So what is the static IP? 192.168.1.12. Then this is a common thing, 255.255.255.0, and it will be the next series will be 192.168.1.1. The bottom will always be same. If suppose it is 0.12, so at the bottom you should get 0.1. This will always be same at every place. Okay. So now what you do, you save it. After saving, you come out and you can start the network. The command to start the network is service. So this is fixed now. Even you reboot your laptop, you will reboot your operating system, the IP will be fixed. That is the main advantage of thing. Okay, so now we are putting the problem, here is copying, pasting, so many things you have problem here. The installations you can do on the graphic location, but like a lot of maintenance things, all that sort of things, you need a putty. So by default the entries in the host file are wrong, so we will edit it. So the entries are something like this. Remove this entry. Okay, so what I'll do, what is your IP address? 192.168.1.12, and this one is the localhost entry. It is mandatory that you should have that entry and then wipe out this entry. So this is the way how it has to be. First is the loopback address and second is the whatever is IP. If you want, you can verify what is the host name. If you want, you can verify whether you're able to ping either by alias name. Also you can ping. See, you're able to ping. So that is the first step what you do. Let me verify my documentation. First you set the IP, then you set the network. It may be not, this few screens may not match because my IP address is 12, here it is showing 2. So according to your settings you need to do. Yeah, the first step is you need to edit the things that you have pinged it, everything is fine. Next is you need to change the values of sysctl for semaphore settings. Go here, end of the thing, and make this. You should be comfortable with the VI editor. It is a simple tool. You may get lot of tutorials in order to get this. I'm just making these entries here. Oops. For number of files opening, so you are making it unlimited. Otherwise you will have, if you are opening too many files, 1000 2000 files, then you may get some limits will be there. So in make it unlimited. So you are restricting the number of files to be open by this number. If the number is less, then chances are that if you open too many database files, you will have some security related issue. It will not allow you. The next one is we create groups. The next one is you create one more group. The next one is you create the user, the Oracle user, with what is the primary group and all that. You mentioned that. Then you create the directory where you want to install. The next one is you change the owner to Oracle. You change the owner as Oracle. You change mode so that he can write it. Means you are giving 7775 permissions so that Oracle user can write it. You can also change the owner of that one also. You are fixing the inventory, like this is the inventory location. You also want to change the permissions of that. Just to be clear, you're changing the owner so that only Oracle user can write to Ora inventory. If you want, you can change the password of Oracle. If you want to change the password, you can change it. The next one is you need to install the packages. So the packages are available in this. You can always click it. So then you can copy them to this. How do you copy? You need WinSCP. WinSCP, connect to the IP machine 12, connect to root. This is WinSCP software, which allows you to copy the software. This software is already available. It's there with me. Yeah, so it's available here. So what you do is just drag and drop. So let me copy to temp location, drag and drop. It is copied to temp location. So I transferred a file from the Windows machine to Linux machine. I copied to temp location. So here I have this location. So just unzip it. So you will get all the packages required for this complete installation. Yeah, even you download it, you'll get the same thing for you. Actually, even I prepared one script called run. That's it. Okay. Before doing that, first we'll identify what are the packages required. In case if you want to identify what are the packages required, so you can run this particular query. Okay, let me put this to identify the missing packages. You can always use this particular script. Copy this and paste it. So this will tell you what are the packages which are missing. Okay, so because there will be some dependencies, that's the reason you may have to install all of these packages. So I have created a script. So you just have to copy and paste those things. So it will install for you. You can just copy all of them. Even this is compatible with rack also. Even the rack packages are there. All that what you require for database and for rack, all the packages I kept it ready for you so that you can install. If you want to install Oracle database, you can install Oracle database. In later on, if you want to include rack, those packages are also available in this particular script. Okay, so packages are completed. So next one, if you want again verify, you can verify. See, now grep not installed, so it means that nothing is showing. So it means that all are available, all the packages are available. So that's the next step. So next what you'll do, you'll connect as Oracle user. Oops, you log into Oracle user and create one environment file. Oh, okay, see, what is our host name? Oracle11gDBA, right? So we need to be careful to change it, because at one place you have the host name here. save this file, and here at one place you need to change the host name. So our host name is Oracle11gDBA 11. Change it. Fantastic. Okay, so I change the host name. So I mark whichever is pink, you need to change it according to the host name what you are using. All right. So next is we need to install the guest edition for improving the performance, and also tomorrow if you want to install rack, that will be allowed. Okay. So here what you need to do, how to install guest editions is go to devices, install guest editions. As simple as it. I think this is very simple. Let me capture the screen, and let me capture the screen. So here what you do, you go to devices, and what you do, you select this. So let me update my screen. This screen looks much better than what screen I have here. Yeah. So insert it. So automatically, it will happen, but you can verify it by running df-h. So compulsory you should have a directory created for that. So now let us go with the next steps. So what you need to do is we need to add something like a divider just to improve the performance. So you connect as root user via etc grub.env file. In companies you may not do all of this, but you want to have your own environment at your place. In that case you have to do all of this stuff. Just add the divider to the grub.environment file. Okay, that's all. Only one line you will add it. Go to the end and you add this one line. Okay, so next is we will install those things here. So go to this particular directory, say ls-ltr, and there is something like a run command which you need to run. So this will install the edition packages. In future if you want to go for rack, then you may need this particular things. Guest editions, additional install model, install additional models. 5.8 is the most compatible and very easy software to install. Okay, I'm just go by this. I will fully support to anybody 5.8 and 5.4. So we have installed it. Let me remove this one. You don't get the screen. Okay, now you can take a snapshot. Just because all the installation steps are completed and we are ready with the installation. So you just shut down this and take a backup of it. So for that, what you do, you have to take a snapshot. At any point of time, if you want to revert it, you want to practice again the database installation, you can always revert it. So for that, the operating system should be shut down. Then you can take a image, you can take a snapshot. For taking a snapshot, if you see right side, there's something like a snapshot. Take a snapshot, take a picture of it. See, this a picture symbol is there. Mention some point like after OS. So at this point of time, whatever is there, that will be saved. At this point of time, whatever is there, the location, you can go to settings, advanced. Yeah, here are the snapshot settings. There should be sufficient space, otherwise it will go out of space. It will take a lot of space. Okay, so you have taken the current snapshot. Tomorrow after some time you want to take one more snapshot, again you can click and you can click one more snapshot. So the advantage is in case you messed up something, right? You messed up something, you want to go back, then you can always go back. So once the snapshot is taken, you can again start your. Before that I wanted to copy again I'm going to shut down. I need to, next is the software copying, right? Yeah. Okay, see now the software is there on the Windows machine. So the easiest method is WinSCP, especially for beginners. WinSCP you can do, but just in case I will show you how to do Windows sharing. Okay, I'll just show you how to share a, suppose in case if you want to share that in a Windows machine. So the software is available on my uh, here, right? So software, everything I stored in E drive, software. So where is my software? Uh, okay, again software. Okay, 11204, right? This is the directory 11204. So right click it, share it, specific people, everyone, share it. So this is the directory 11204, done. So just shut down this laptop and it should come. We'll try, otherwise we'll reboot it. Okay, so you can connect from putty and do most of the things. It should come. If it doesn't come, then we may have to start. So in order to get that, what you need to do is yeah, you can mount it directly, or we'll see like this. See, this is the my Windows machine IP address, and this is the user. There is only one person called user, and the password of the Windows machine. Let us see if it will be mounted. Okay, you have to create one directory called software. Yeah, okay, it is installed. So the entire software folder is available now for me. So steps are very simple. You just create a directory, and this user is a Windows user, and this is the mount point, and this is the local directory. This is the local directory. So you can avoid copying. You can avoid copying to your local machine. So let me take a screenshot of this so that we have everything here. Yeah, if it is too complicated, you can just directly use WinSCP, copy and just move it from your Windows to Linux machine. I'm just making you a little bit. Okay, so now we have to run VNC server. We are going to do installation completely on using VNC viewer on the server. On the server you need to run this command called VNC server. By default you will have the package ready. Give some password. Okay, so now what you'll do, we will install VNC viewer on your laptop machine. It's a freely downloadable, and you access that. So the IP is 192.168.1.12:1, and give the password what you're given. You'll get VNC viewer. Only you can install anything graphics related. We have to go by this. Okay, so now graphics, right? In order to enable graphics, you have to say Xhost plus. Now you say you connect to Oracle, you run one environment file called Oracle environment file, because here the advantage of running the environment is you have Oracle home is fixed, your Oracle SID is fixed, right? So now we will start the installation. Okay, database. So just go to that particular database and run the run installer. Only in VNC viewer you'll get the graphics. You cannot get graphics in putty. Putty is for only management, like starting, stopping, doing some changes. For installations you need this particular thing. Okay, here I don't want any security support link, anything. Just disable it. Go next. I don't want anything. I don't want to do all of this. So skip software. So now you want to create and configure a database. Yes. Go next. I want to go for a server class. Go here. Say next. Single instance. Simple database you wanted to install. I want to go for the advanced installation steps. Next. I want to select English language. I want to go with the enterprise edition. Next. So this is by default you are getting because you have selected, you ran the environment file. Because you ran the environment file, everything is selected for you. Then say next. So inventory location, fine. General purpose, general purpose, this is the general purpose. Select general purpose. So here just have what is your SID you want. The SID is ORCL. So you don't need so much of memory, just for practice purpose. Take a small database, maybe 1 GB database. You just select the character set. This is the step how to select the character set, Unicode. Take the sample schemas so that Scott and Tiger will come back. Next. This is the place where the data files, control files, redo log files will be stored. Next. No backups. Give a password, Oracle for you. Yeah, you will not get any errors. Oracle underscore for you. U is capital. Yeah, select the groups. One is the DBA and one is the install. DBA is the install is the owner of the software. And now it is a performance check. And everything is passed. Here you may have problems like space problems, packages problems. Okay, so you need to resolve, because I did couple of times. You may not see all these errors, but first time when you're trying to do, you may have problems. So if you have, you need to resolve those issues. So continue with the installation. So this is how the installation will happen. So I'll be sending you the recording sessions. I'll be sending you the notes. So you need to follow the same steps what I have done. Okay. So at the end we'll also verify, and also I'll tell you how to create start and stop scripts. See here, I'll tell you how to verify the installation, and also how to start and stop. We'll create some scripts. Now itself we can create. So we can create start and stop scripts as a connect as Oracle user. Start script, start database. Control. Oops. Yeah. Then stop scripts. So it will take care of starting the database and starting the listener. Everything is been automized. It makes your life easy. Okay. Right. So now I think I can open okay, this will take some time, but this is almost, we are done with the session. So now you can let me unmute all the people who are muted, and if you have any queries you can always ask me for me. Yeah. So did you understand this? First of all, have you followed this class, like how I've done this installation and all, and now if you have any queries you can ask me so that I can tell you. Hello. Come on, guys. I'm putting a question for you. I've been talking from past 1 hour. Now it's your time.
First of all, thank you very much, sir. It's very easy to install after getting this all the steps and documentation. And later on, if we want to install rack on the same machine, so there is no need to change in the settings basically. Is it right?
Yeah, because up to OS you have taken the snapshot, right? You can always go back and use that as a baseline, and you can continue with the rack installation.
Okay, very perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, good one. Who is this? Gopal, right? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gopal. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, next query. Come on, if at all I would have been student, I would have really asked so many questions. Somebody is telling, ask me questions, means I would have asked 100 questions. Sir, what is that? Sorry, what is this? And here some person is asking and nobody's, either you guys have followed or not followed.
Hi.
Yeah. Yeah, Muhammad Azim.
Hi, this is Muhammad Azim. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible. Hey, you are the person who are accessing my server, right?
Yeah. I am the person who sent a lot of questions to you on email.
Right. Hi, how are you?
Actually, sorry.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm using a live server,
Yeah.
and I have set the environment, Oracle environment.
Yeah.
So I want to run the run installer, but I do not see that run installer on my server.
Okay. See, you are accessing my machine. That is a Linux box. Okay. So you don't need to install Oracle VM. So good that you asked me. So let me take you to my machine. Okay. So where is the software location? Right. Okay, there are two zip files. Yeah, it is that you need to unzip these files.
Yeah. Okay.
So that will create the database folder.
All right.
There are two files. The two files have to be extracted.
Okay.
So see here in your case, right? This is a directly a Linux machine. So and directly you
Yeah.
can install. So you don't need to go through all of this. Post packages, packages, everything is installed for you. Maybe I'll show you at a high level, like how you kick off the installation. I have given you a VNC link. Are you able to access that?
Yeah. Yeah. It's accessible.
It is accessible, right? So now what you need to do is you will connect to my machine something like this. The IP is 21, right? And I given a 4 address, 4 thing for you. Okay, password is Oracle IQ. So you will find something like this. So here what you do is you open a terminal. Okay, you say exhaust plus, oops, you run exhaust plus, you connect as Oracle user, go to the software. Okay, and now since we have extracted it, you will find database
Okay.
folder and you kick off the installation. It's so easy as it is. Okay, before that you may have to create one environment file where you want to copy. So this is the way how you are going to do the installation. If you have any things, you can send me an email, but these are the high level steps. But one thing is very clear, that you're not going to use only Oracle VM or anything, because this is a direct Linux box. This is a direct Linux box. You need to continue from the remaining steps. The packages part also is completed. Maybe from the environment file. From the environment file you need to
All
create.
right.
Yeah, you can verify whether the packages are there or not there. From there you can just verify, but no VM for you. Okay, so that's about your Mohammad Azim. Yeah, any more queries,
Okay.
guys? Yeah, so I have another maybe 5 minutes time. I can 5 minutes. By the time this installation is completed, I want to clear away all the queries.
Hi Kishore, this is Kanaya Lal.
Hey, hi, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Hey, good.
Your session looks good, and it's in details from VNC and VNSCP and all tools and all prerequisites. Everything is fine with details. So this is your base version 11.201.
11.204. Actually, this is 11.204 is a very stabilized version. 11.201 also you can go, because for practice purpose, what is there? But I'm using 11.204 because 11.204 is still supported by Oracle.
Okay. So this is the latest version, 11.204.
No, 12c is the latest, but for kickoff you can always practice 11.204.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is an installation. So after that you can practice backups, recoveries. Slow by slow. My recorded sessions are there. You can use them. But at least we need to have one environment to practice any of this. At least the database has to be installed to practice. Otherwise, that is the reason why I've been a lot of you guys are sending queries. So I'm not able to install. So that's the reason why I'll send you the record sessions and the notes, and so that it can be very handy for you. Yeah.
Okay.
Hello,
Yeah.
hello, sir.
Yeah.
Are you
Hi.
able to hear me?
Yeah, I'm able to hear you.
Yeah, I'm Lavanya, sir.
Yeah, hi.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, thanks a lot for your session, sir. Actually, after 5 years, I'm getting into Oracle, I think, sir. I worked earlier 5 years before. So I think I will first try installing this, and when I come across doubts, I'll surely send you a mail. So please help me, actually, sir.
Yeah, no problem. If at all you guys are stuck anywhere, we can have a go-to meeting. I can make you a presenter. I can make you a presenter, and I can see what's happening in your laptop and try to fix that
Oh,
issues.
okay, thanks a lot, sir.
No problem. Okay, some more. Another 15% is left. So
Hi, Kishore sir, this is Irshad. Can
yeah,
you
hi
hear me?
Isha. Yeah, I'm able to hear you, Isha. Hi, how are you?
Hi. Good, good. Hi, Kishore sir. Thank you so much for giving this session. And I'm actually an ETL developer trying to get myself into Oracle DBA role also
Cool.
because there are yeah, ETL developer, but currently on bench. I think I told you about this.
Right.
So yeah, the same thing. I'll try to install all these softwares and uh, applications that you have. Once I have any issues, I'll let you know if I have any trouble.
Right. Yeah, see, this is the fundamental because here actually you're covering so many things, especially for a beginner. That means you're all beginners as for me because Oracle DBA means it's the same thing, right? So here something like a OS is involved, then Oracle VM is involved, Linux is involved, database is involved, PuTTY is involved, WinSCP is involved, NFS sharing is involved, and if you do this perfect, then tomorrow when you go for advanced courses like RAC and Oracle e-business, all those tools will be used, all the tools will be used. So that's the reason I covered all the tools what is required for you guys. Okay, so now the installation is completed. So I'll say okay. So it will ask you to run two scripts as a root user. Copy this, connect as a root user. This one we don't need. Exit, clear, run the script. Okay, then take the second script, copy this, select this, right click it, run the script. Perfect, all the scripts are run, and even your enterprise manager is also up for you, right? Okay, so now what we'll do, we can verify our installation. Yeah, so how you can verify the installation? You can connect to Oracle and run the environment file. Anytime you have to run the environment file. Okay, so from here you can check whether your installation is correct. Okay, your installation is correct. Yes, you are able to do. So maybe are you able to access all the files? Maybe we'll put like we will control file, data file. Are you able to access all of this? Maybe I'll put this also query. Yeah, this may be a good one for you because after accessing, right, after connecting, you may want to know where are the control files, blah blah blah. So if you run this script, right, it will tell you. So no spacing, put a bracket of it, outside parameter, and so what it's going to show is going to show you all the data files, control files required for this for a simple data. But there is so much of learning, especially for the people who are entering database field. So this is so here we have entered it, and the next scripts what I have done is how to start and stop, right? So we have already created the stop scripts, and also we have created the start scripts. So whenever you want to stop, right, what you do, you just have to stop it. So this will stop the listener, it will stop the database. Okay, so whenever you want to start, so now the database is stopped, listener is stopped. So whenever you want to start it, what you do, you start it. So it will start the listener and start the database. Maybe I will add one step. Maybe because most of the you may want to access from the client side, right? Okay, that entry is correct and it's a valid point. I will add one point for you. Okay. So just like client access. So see, normally what you do is, let me put also this entry also is very important. So let me put a tag for this. So what you do, you have to go to Oracle Home Network Admin, copy the TNS names and make an entry in the thing. So you go here, Oracle Home Network Admin, and copy the TNS names, because especially when you have a client machine, right, you need to make an entry in your client machine. So here let us make it more very simple. Okay, let me remove the space. And what you do here, the first step is you install the client version of Oracle client on your laptop or desktop, right? Okay, so then what you do, you copy this. I already have a client version on my laptop, so let me go to C:\app issue product network client network admin, and here you make an entry. So make this entry in your TNS names, in your local names.ora. Okay, so this is in my case. Okay, no problem. So copy this so that you can access from your laptop machine. So after making an entry, what you do, you can even connect, you can ping it, because this is the commands normally, right? You will be, whether you're able to ping or not. See, this is what is ping. Let me get this picture. So with that, we have done with the entire installation, right from client and right from server installation, and also the client verification. So this completes the entire stuff. You first you make an entry in TNS names, and then you can run the TNS ping. You say TNS ping ORCL just to verify whether you're able to ping. And if at all you have Oracle SQL Plus, you can always connect. I'll not show that, but yeah, if you have SQL Plus, you can also log in. Yeah, so with this you are completed. So now I'll prepare a PDF of it and I'll forward to you. So this, you will have a PDF format, and the advantage of PDF format is you have this you can always click, when you will be getting this type of thing. So you, wherever you want to go, you can, I want to see this, you can, no, I want to go, I want to see what is the, I need to see what is the problem here. Okay, if you want to go for like this, you can. Okay, with this I'm end for the day. So I thank you for all of you for taking time and attending my class. So when there is something new to be done, I will take. If you have some other request, you can send. If there are a lot of requests, maybe I will think about it. But yeah, thank you guys. Have a nice evening. Bye bye.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Bye.
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 Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, man.